Video game.
You really need to get someone to animate like an intro. especially if we're gonna be
Welcome
doing-
to another exciting episode
Right now,
of Video
yeah,
Game
that's-
Bang,
Yeah.
your weekly source for all things video game. Featuring your fearless hosts, Cory, Vincent,
I'm pretty much Microsoft and Marvel. The cans are on. It's when ish gets real. People get shot during the day?
and Aaron Carter.
Buy the armor, I equip it, and it's like pink thong. The guy that delivers vending machine items in my job, he can play the right.
Fill up your Mountain Dew and grab your Doritos. It's time for Video Game Bang.
The thirst is absolutely real, everybody. I am Sir Aaron Carter, and we are live from Oblivion Comics and Coffee. And this is the Weekend Bang, powered by NRG, brought to you by said Oblivion Coffee and Comics. Flip that, reverse that.
I think I came up with a better mousetrap.
Okay.
Well, yours is, what is it? Come for the comics, stay for the coffee?
Yes.
Mine is coffee in the front, comics in the back.
That just sounds like, too demanding or too commanding. Like,
Well, that's you
yeah,
gotta be
coffee. Get in the back if you want the comics
No.
or something like that.
You got to be aggressive. You got to tell them where
No,
to
you
get
don't
things.
have to be
Yeah.
aggressive for a coffee. And first of all, they're going to be on coffee. So
Coffee
they're
in
gonna
the
be
front.
Very, very aggressive already.
Coffee in the front.
And then you don't want them going back there just ripping pages off of a comic book.
Maybe it's in the delivery. Maybe it's got to be like coffee in the front, comics in the back.
We'll have to definitely talk to the managers about that one. I also have a request for the guy that holds the sign and spins to be in the front, please.
Do they have one of those?
No, they don't. And that's I think that's a key marketing thing. When we started this podcast 4 years ago, we hired one guy to just spin our URL out in a random street in the world.
Yeah.
Haven't heard from him since.
He
but,
died. I'm pretty sure he died.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it worked to our credit.
So is this going to be like a spooky edition? Because I know that's like Halloween is in the air.
Well, how much have you watched of Stranger Things?
Is that really spooky though?
Yes and no. See, you're on. You said I spoke to you earlier. You said you were on episode 2.
Episode
correct?
2, yeah.
I'm on episode 6. Without spoilers, I will say this show has become, in my opinion,
Humblest opinions.
yes, this show has become the directors going, how can we mess with Will today? Just
that's
waking up
messed up.
each morning and like, oh, you're a normal kid now? Let's mess with your life.
Oh, poor Will.
Yeah, exactly. And how can we get his mother to freak out about it? And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not. I imagine this kid growing up and having some serious commitment problems with people. He's not going to have a regular life. And I'm not going to say it. Mass shooting, probably. I'm going to say it anyway.
You said it. I'm not even.
He's crazy.
I'm not
I know
going
it's
there.
Sensitive times. I understand.
Yeah, no, very
But if you look at
sensitive
what the trauma this kid has gone through, it's not too far-fetched.
How many episodes are there in the season? 2?
I want to say 10.
Oh, so you're still.
Fingers crossed, 13.
I like it. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's a horror thing. I don't really. But other than like in the episode I watched, it was Halloween. I don't really feel like this is Halloween stuff. It's not a horror series. It's just like a. I don't know. Maybe it's good. Whatever.
So it looks like they're hinting at some deeper racial issues in this season too.
Oh, already with the Ghostbusters.
No, not even that.
'Cause that was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
that was pretty funny too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just assume that I'm Winston because
Yeah.
I'm the black guy. Yeah, that was funny.
Winston's boring.
Yeah. He's not even a scientist, which is true. Winston wasn't a scientist. He was just a guy that needed a job, why he was one of my favorite ones. I mean, you could still bust ghosts and not have a, master's degree in whatever they had degrees in.
Yeah.
But no. There's another character in there that kind of, it makes me see the Red Power Ranger in a different light.
What?
Have you seen, has the Red Power Ranger introduced himself into the show yet?
Red Power Ranger.
From the movies, the Power Ranger. From the latest movie, the Power Ranger.
I have no idea.
Have you saw the guy with I think it's a Camaro, Corvette?
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about.
So that's the
cool
Red
guy
Ranger.
with the
That's
mustache?
the Red Ranger, yes.
Okay.
That's the Red Ranger.
I like him.
I bet you do. I bet you do because he has massive racist overtone on it.
Oh, I haven't gotten that far. No, I just know he drives a cool car.
Yeah, no.
And like anytime he stops, he's playing like some super like you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, he's playing the
baby.
he's playing the hardcore rock and roll
Yeah.
for that era.
So
I
are they
guess.
trying to say that people who listen to that music is racist?
I'm not gonna say that. But I'm gonna say that.
That's messed up.
No, it's just that character. That character may have a little. I haven't got to it yet. It hasn't appeared officially just yet. But that's what I'm leaning. If I had to vote dimes to dollars, that guy has a little. He's got a little KKK in him. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
Yeah. But anyway, here at Oblivion Comics and Coffee today, we're doing a live Halloween podcast stream. We'll have. Maybe some guests pop in and out. I don't know.
I'm cool with that.
With people, yeah. We have Capeless Crusaders in the buildings, of course. There's free candy. If you're watching at home right now, you should definitely just come down here. There's store-wide discounts going on right now.
Yeah.
Music's always playing, so I mean. That's
Music is
nothing new.
always bumping here. So this is Halloween themed, right? Because I brought some stuff that I want to talk about. We're going to exchange scary stories.
You have a scary story?
Well, I mean, I don't want to go first, but I thought I didn't know. Are we sharing scary stories?
I don't have any scary stories. Nothing. Okay, so I was recently on a podcast, Cables Crusaders, and I kind of proclaimed. I don't know if I said it outright, but not too much frightens me.
Okay.
I don't know. I've worked in retail for 10 years, so I've seen some scary stuff, but. The ghouls and goblins type of thing, it doesn't really, as long as I'm in control of my own body, I'm not just sitting and taking it, then, So what's your scary story? What do you have? So because I don't have any scary stories. Scary story I probably have is me $600, traffic ticket from years ago. I was like, how the hell am I supposed to pay that? That's scary as hell.
I got a really scary story.
What do you got?
All right. This is, I mean, I'm kind of with you in the fact that I'm not really scared by ghosts and goblins.
Yeah, I hope you're not scared of goose.
Actually, I probably am more afraid of goose and geese than I am ghosts. But
why?
Because
we'll talk about that.
Those are
definitely.
real.
Yeah, but you can break a goose's neck.
Can you?
I'm pretty sure with both hands.
I would love to see you fight a goose.
Okay.
I don't think you're half as macho.
We're going to stream that.
I think if a goose came up to you.
No.
Have you ever been attacked by a goose?
Have I ever kicked a soccer ball? Yes. Is a goose about the size of said
have
soccer
you
ball?
been attacked
Yes.
by a goose, yes or no?
No, I have not.
You're not ready for the intimidation factor.
What intimidation?
Because
it's
not,
1
it's
foot
not
tall
just like he
at
runs
max.
at you. No, okay, first of all, they're much taller than they give credit for.
Okay.
So they stand up, their necks go all the way to the top, they spread their wings
All the way
as
to
wide
the top
as
to
they
6
can.
feet? Because that's what I'm hitting.
Close enough.
All right, then.
Close enough. And then they just start yelling at you.
I can yell back.
With their arms wide out.
Okay.
Like this death
And then
scream.
I'm guessing after that, they
You
pull out
would
their
be-
weapon, right?
No, you...
Oh, so they don't?
No.
Do they ball up their fists and start swinging at me? Again, they do not.
I'm pretty
then
sure
gooses would
you
die.
would be frozen in terror.
Have you ever eaten a goose?
No.
I've eaten goose before.
I have too much respect for the goose community.
No. I've had some neighbors that actually used to kill birds in their backyard. Chickens, ducks,
Where
and
did
stuff
you
like
grow
that.
up? What the fuck?
It was
Who does that?
So
They would just kill random birds in their backyard,
that's how
and
they
then we'd
ate
eat them.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
how we lived.
I remember one time I was back there and I was hanging out with my friend who lived downstairs from me. His brother was outside, and he had the duck in his hand, and I was
Wait,
like,
duck
"Oh."
or a goose? Because they're different.
No, this one was a duck.
Okay.
This is the first time I realized that they
No, I could kick a
killed-
duck's ass.
Yeah, but this is the first time I realized they killed animals in their backyard.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh, you have a pet duck. And my friend was like, no, that's not a pet. And then his brother took out a hatchet and he just lopped the head off. And I was like, oh, that's not a pet. That's lunch. And he just drained the blood in a bowl. And then they,
Wait, I thought you said you had no scary stories.
that's not scary.
That's terrifying.
That was just shocking that, okay, all right, we got, a live bird that I thought was their pet, and now it's not. What do you have, though? What is your scary story?
Here's my story.
All right.
Lee always walked 3/4 of a mile to his job as an attorney at the state agency of Boston.
Oh, hold on, time out. You're reading off of something now?
It's a story. Yeah.
This is a story you wrote?
Well, no, I didn't write this.
Oh, this is almost the equivalent of, hey, Corey, why don't you freestyle? And then you pull out your cell phone and you're like, all right, I got one for you real quick.
Well, I don't
you know that,
freestyle. Right? No, this is a very scary story.
All right, okay, go ahead. Continue. So Lee's walking.
He would walk 3/4 of a mile to his job as an attorney in Boston.
Okay.
One spring morning, he felt a bit out of breath and thought he must be coming down with a cold. Later that night, he felt more winded than usual climbing up 3 flights of stairs to his apartment. That seemed strange, but since the 39-year-old had a clean physical exam the week before, he shrugged it off. After dinner, though, he sat on the couch to watch TV and send emails. That's when the chest pain began, along with the feeling that he was going to throw up. I knew something was very wrong, Lee says. Even though he didn't fit the picture of heart disease, he was young, fit, and healthy weight. He didn't smoke, drink, or do drugs. The chest pain prompted him to Google symptoms of a heart attack. And in fact, it was a heart attack. By the time he arrived, he was pale, breathless, and had severe chest pain, an exam, a finger clip to measure his blood oxygen levels. The doctors gave him nitrogen pills, but to no avail. Lee passed away.
Is this somebody you know?
No.
Okay. All right. Guy
Isn't
had a
that
heart attack.
freaky?
No.
Heart disease. It's the number one killer of us.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's still not scary whatsoever.
That's way more terrifying than a ghost or a zombie or your
Go ahead and just
goose
tell
thing.
me a ghost story or a scary story about an aneurysm then. Because it's the same. You can that could happen at any time, right?
Famous last words, but
I'm just
an
saying.
aneurysm's not going to kill me.
Yeah, exactly. Famous last words. It sounds like that guy that got robbed with a knife and got stabbed. And before he got stabbed, he's like, what are you going to do, stab me? Well, yeah, I got a knife. I'm going to stab you. Duh. Yeah, no, that's natural causes.
It's not natural causes.
Oh, unnatural.
Lee was healthy.
Yeah, was he, though?
He didn't smoke. He didn't drink. He just like someone I know, Aaron.
Hey, it could. First of all, I happen, for the new listeners and old, I happen to be a black person. So in our culture, high cholesterol and blood pressure, pretty much up there.
That's racist.
I just had a rip and dip that was half butter and half bread. So, I mean.
But we love the rip and dip.
I'm just saying, love the rip and dip. You have to come down to Oblivion.
Actually, I heard it cures your heart disease.
I would eat them every day, then.
Yeah, if I could.
Yeah, no, it's quite the opposite. As much butter is on that thing. No, but no, that type of stuff isn't, scary. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, we've talked about the supernatural and the paranormal on the show before. Bigfoot. Have you ever had the desire to find said Bigfoot? Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Here's this. Okay.
Like Red Dead Redemption. Did you go looking for him in that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. But my dad had a really. My dad traumatized me at a young age with his Bigfoot stories.
He saw Bigfoot one time?
He claims that he had seen Bigfoot.
Okay.
Keep in mind, this is a guy who also told me that women are bitches and to never try black tar heroin. He's also the guy who told me women are like dogs. The harder you hit them, the more they love you.
Okay.
So you have to weigh in all the factors.
When he told you this Bigfoot story, was he sober?
All
right, then.
My dad's sober? That is funny. That's hilarious.
All right.
So he said that him and his brothers were like in the woods.
Okay.
And they heard like a tree fall over. And so they ran deeper into the woods.
All right.
And they saw like a clearing. It was kind of far away. And they saw a shadowy figure who was like Bigfoot-esque palming like a rock.
Okay.
Like a giant boulder.
And this is when he was a young kid? Or
Yeah.
Okay. So this is maybe 60s? I don't know how old your dad is.
No, he's not. Actually, he's not that old. But they had guns because they were hunting.
So okay,
So
all right.
They took shot at him.
Okay, they didn't get closer.
I guess it dropped the boulder and took off. Like they missed it.
All right. First of all, I don't just imagine Bigfoot going and then just bouncing, just dropping the boulder and then bouncing as quick as possible without them giving chase.
Well, I mean, okay. First of all, they were really far away, so they couldn't have caught up to him.
Okay,
taking the shot was the best thing they had to do. Which, if you ask me, already shows bad judgment because at that distance, it could have been just like a guy.
Well, yeah, that's true. So they didn't actually get visible confirmation that this was a Bigfoot. They just saw maybe a hairy hand. Could have been me. I got hairy hands holding a rock. And then they just popped off a shot at this thing?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Bad judgment.
Yeah, bad judgment on their side.
I would have gotten visual, confirmation. Because I've said this before. I'm like, as much as you would hate me later, as much as, people would hate me later, if I'm hunting in the woods and I do get visual confirmation, I'm like, that is a Bigfoot, and I have a weapon, I'm shooting
You're
him.
taking a shot?
I'm killing
What
Bigfoot.
if he's peaceful?
Now, see, here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Everybody would hate me, but you wouldn't be telling a story about how you thought I saw a Bigfoot. You'd be telling the story about how I killed Bigfoot. That's what you would do. I'd bring a carcass with me, and you'd be like, oh, Bigfoot exists. There it is.
I feel like you're being
Right?
short-sighted.
No, I think I'm being very logical in this.
I think
I can take the hate of people hating me. You killed this beautiful creature, probably the last thing on. Yeah, I did, but I proved that it's alive. Well, was alive.
And then the first thing that's going to happen is the sheriff's going to come and say, "Did you have tags for Bigfoot?" You're going to say no.
That's fine. I'll
They're going to
take
say
all
that's
that.
murder. Now you're going to jail.
In the history, in the annals of history, in the book, when you look up Bigfoot, I know the guy's pissed already.
He's telling us his Bigfoot story.
There'd be a picture of Sir Aaron Carter right there, like a little side profile shot, and it'd be like the man that killed the last Bigfoot, and that'd just be it.
Now, why wouldn't you have at least tried to talk to the Bigfoot?
No, because
first?
because there's no evidence out there that gives me that from the Bigfoot hunters that gives me any inclination that Bigfoot is very eloquent and he can
but
gentlemen in the forest. Thank you for for joining me.
Lend
out
me
here.
your ears.
Yes. Would you like to sit? I have rocks and hummus. If you guys are so inclined to
again, this is where you're
join
being
me.
short-sighted. You at least try and reason with the Bigfoot
No,
because
see,
no
now
one
you're
knows.
trying to reason. So you went from communicating to reasoning with Bigfoot.
How do you know that the Bigfoot doesn't have? I mean, he can't just be out there by himself. There's got to be a community of Bigfoots.
No, I'm sure that the Bigfoot that I do shoot and kill has a family.
Yeah,
I'm more than sure of that.
you could have been a reverse Henry and the Hendersons. He could have taken you to live with his family.
Yeah, and that's
You would have been
definitely not going to happen.
How do you know they don't have like amazing technologies that they could have shared with you for you to bring back to the people?
I think that's the difference then, because or maybe that's the redeeming factor.
You're delusional.
I killed Papa Bigfoot and take care of the kids.
See, in your own head, you can conquer Bigfoot and then kill a goose with a swift kick.
Yeah.
In my world, I think that goose whoops your ass.
Yeah, well, then
And
your world is very skewed.
I think you see a Bigfoot and piss yourself.
No. I'm fully.
You're fully equipped.
Fully ready.
You don't even own
for
a
that
gun.
moment. I
So
don't.
this is all hypothetical.
I'm straight Batman. I don't like guns. I mean,
You're not going to Batman
so
Bigfoot.
then I guess I'm throwing batarangs or something at him. But here's the other thing too, because we live in the modern day, so there's cameras everywhere. Everybody has one on their hip, and with the new Note 8, it has a very nice dual camera in the back to take crystal clear pictures. But no, I mean, so it's harder to make up things. Like, what's the Bigfoot footage? The Zapruder film? That's not. So, I mean, that grainy film nowadays will be straight clear, and you'd be able to see that's a guy in a mask. So, I mean, I don't need the gun necessarily, but I'm just saying, back in those days when everybody has a hunting story for some reason about Bigfoot.
Yeah,
like I was out hunting and I saw him. Like, I can't get over the fact that they're just like, you just let Bigfoot go, guys. You let Bigfoot. Now, if you switch over to Ghost, something that's
I have ghost stories
Really?
that my parents say and things like that. Like, I was in the kitchen late at night to get a glass of milk, and I felt a presence. It's like you're probably just like dead tired.
yeah, it's the middle of the night. I'm sorry, I won't say I rule out. I'm not a scientist by any means. Before I state, before I go forward, but what is there a okay? So can you get rid of energy?
Can you what?
Can you get rid of energy? Let me
Get
ask
rid
the
of energy.
audience. You can't get rid of energy, right?
Can we shout it?
Yeah, you can shout it all you want. Can you only displace it or like?
Not that it's like matter. It can't be like created or destroyed, right? It's just kind of there.
It's just there. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if we have energy within our body, and we die, it doesn't just go away, right?
No.
Okay, so I'm thinking
It feeds the bugs in the ground.
my theory though is like if that energy is just out and around, maybe you might get a little tingle like, oh, but I don't think it's like caressing your shoulders, pushing you downstairs,
helping you make a pot.
Yeah. I don't think it's definitely not holding a penny up to the door and then you're not doing any of that stuff. So I won't.
Do you believe in ghosts or not?
Do I believe? I would say I wouldn't rule it out of the realm of possibility.
It's yes or no.
No, there's no
Do ghosts
yes
exist
or no.
Yeah, no. You have to make a decision.
I would say maybe. Still gonna go with the maybe.
I think ghosts are so made up and fake.
But you believe in the Bigfoot.
But I do kind of believe in Bigfoot, yeah.
So ghost real.
Ghost real.
Ghost fake.
Ghost fake as fuck.
Bigfoot real.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Where do you land on the side of vampires then?
Oh, definitely fake. And just because you're an emo kid and you had your teeth filed, that doesn't. I'm not calling you a vampire.
Or, like, there's other types of vampires. They don't have to necessarily just drink, A lot of a lot of guys that I know have dated, financial vampires. Just suck the currency right out of them.
Okay. I do believe in people being leeches. Maybe that's more of a leech than a vampire.
But isn't a vampire just a leech?
No, they could turn into bats and stuff. That's what I think of. When you say vampire, I think of Dracula turning into a bat. He sleeps in a coffin, lives at Eureka's castle.
What? Okay, now you're pulling deep cuts. Yeah, pulling some real deep cuts with that ones. Eureka's castle. But we've, of course, the big with the Halloween games, stuff like that. Now we have a lot of zombie games coming out. I've been playing Fortnite like crazy, but I have not purchased the actual, single player. But it's supposed to be like ghouls and stuff like that swarm you and everything like that. Mm-hmm. I didn't hit zombies. What do you think about zombies? Because that's like from a...
Oh, see, zombies, that's where it's a huge gray area because, immediately reaction, you say, oh, no, there's no such thing as a zombie. But then you'll see, what are those damn websites,
Website? What?
You'll see, like, what's the ones that'll do, like, hey, watch these Mexican people try white people food.
Like BuzzFeed?
Yeah.
Why is BuzzFeed doing a zombie thing?
No, they will. Like, every once in a while, you'll be going through your timeline, and BuzzFeed will be like, hey, there's this bug that inhabits dead people and makes their arms twitch. Zombies are coming.
Oh, no, yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah,
but, yeah, but... okay, so it would reanimate a dead person, but that doesn't mean it's getting up and trying to eat you.
Yet.
What is the next step? It's not like the bug is evolving. It's not a Pokemon.
Bugs evolve, dude.
Yeah, but
that's like all
at the
they do.
rate that it would create a zombie in our lifetime.
So imagine, like, remember when we were having that issue with bath salts? For like, remember 3 weeks?
Yeah, but that's just like drugs.
Yeah.
That is just like somebody's high on pot noose, and they're like, I'm going to eat your face.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine that guy gets infested with this bug. And now
you think it's just more? Yeah. Well, okay. So that sounds like something I don't know. M. Night Shyamalan would write and be a horrible movie.
That's offensive.
Well, he's offensive.
Yeah.
Have you seen some of his work?
Yeah.
Outside of The Sixth Sense.
I don't care what you say. The Village was pretty good.
The Village?
Yeah, The Village was pretty good.
No. Okay. All time, because I think they spoke about this on the Cables Crusaders. I think they one of their members, Anthony, said his favorite movie was Halloween. Right? That's his favorite horror movie. Favorite horror movie.
You asking me what my favorite horror movie
is?
Oh man. I don't even know. I don't like horror movies. They scare me too much.
Oh, see,
the one I just read about heart disease.
That's not even a horror movie.
I mean, but take that, put it into a movie form, like
starring Keanu Reeves.
Show me a movie. Name me a movie of just a normal guy who ends up like randomly dying of like heart disease or cancer.
Tommy Boy.
That didn't happen in Tommy Boy.
The Father.
Okay, that's a horror movie.
Yeah, the father. The first Tommy Boy.
Okay, there we go.
He just got married. He was doing the dance. Went down. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So if you want to talk the first 10 minutes of Tommy Boy, that's my favorite horror movie.
That's horrible. Then I mean, if you're letting that thing.
See how it crushed his son? Oh,
yeah,
tragedy.
No. Tommy probably would have been more likely to die before his father. Well, actually,
Actually,
technically,
I think he did.
He did.
Damn, dude.
That's terrible.
You know what? I've been watching SNL, like, just through all their Halloween bits on YouTube, and I started binging them, and it did make me realize how much of a fucking genius Chris Farley is.
Yeah, man. I don't know. He was very. He wasn't slept on, I would say, because I mean he got a ton of movie deals. It looked like before his death.
Yeah.
But he's definitely one that. It makes me wonder where David Spade would be if he was still around. if Chris Farley was still around.
What do you mean, where would he be? Yeah, I was gonna say, where is he right now?
Well, because I mean, like, he still gets kind of little side cameo stuff in Adam Sandler movies, but those would have just went to Chris Farley.
Yeah.
So then David Spade would have been selling gum on the side of the road or something like that.
What's your favorite horror movie?
Favorite horror movie? See, that's the thing. Since I don't really watch them for the opposite reason, not because they scare me, but because they're not about the story. I don't really have a favorite scary movie.
What about the Saw movies?
Saws are all stupid, and their camera angles that they do that just like they try to flash, scare you, and all the type of stuff. It's disorienting. So I don't like watching those.
I've never seen a Saw movie.
Yeah, and you shouldn't. What other movies out there?
Friday the 16th.
Friday the 16th.
Yeah.
That's not a no. I'm really
The first one was good, right?
I don't even remember the first
Young,
one.
young Corey Feldman.
There was a movie called Sleepaway Camp. I don't know if too many people even remember Sleepaway Camp, but at the very end of Sleepaway Camp, you find the Shyamalanian twist where you thought a character was a girl, but it's a boy, and she's like, or he's like yelling at the end. I don't know, audience, do you remember this? No? Okay, so Google Sleepaway Camp if you're in chat room ending, and tell me that isn't the freakiest thing you've ever seen in your life, because that right there. But as I grew older, I was like, this kind of just feels like and then I saw Ashley Birch. I'm like, she kind of just looks like Ashley Birch yelling at the camera, and it was kind of funny from then on. So it's hard to, I don't know.
What
Horror
about
movies don't
Ernest
do it.
Scared Stupid?
That was just funny.
Oh.
He kissed one of the trolls.
I know. Wasn't that gross though? How it had like all the snot stuff on it though.
Yeah, but I mean, show that the power of love beats everything.
I think.
Mother's milk.
What other scary movies were there? There had to be better scary movies though. Like, I don't like scary movies, but I'm trying to think. If I were to,
I'm going to just show you this real quick, just so you can have nightmares for the rest of your life. Because it is one of the most.
So what are you showing me?
I'm showing you the ending of Sleepaway Camp, where you find out that the.
Oh God! What the hell is this?
Yeah, and she just has that look on her face, and you find out it's a dude.
How is that on YouTube? That's a penis.
Well, it's educational purposes.
You just showed me a penis in a public area. I'm pretty sure you've done like some illegal stuff here.
Tell me that face isn't the most horrifying thing you ever witnessed.
I'm just distracted by the penis.
Okay.
I'm going to be completely honest.
No, well, that's also horrifying the way that they... Because also it was in the 80s, so there's major bush. major horror bush. So there you go.
Major horror bush.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't shy about it.
I think... does Predator count as a horror movie?
Nope, action. Predators, that's too action. There's a scene where the
But it scared me as a kid.
There's a scene though where the troop, Arnold and his gang, they rip down a forest with guns.
That's dope, yeah.
Like they just tear apart a full forest with guns.
I know, but they still were no match for the Predator.
Well, Arnold was.
Well,
he tricked
was he
them.
though? Because
a little bit of mud. Yeah, a little bit of mud. Yeah, you're good. Predator 2, which a lot of people did not like, but I loved, with Danny Glover. You had
Childish Gambino?
No, not Donald Glover.
No.
Who was the other one from Aliens?
Sigourney Weaver?
No, the guy. passed away. He was in
Alan
Tornado.
Rickman?
Bill Paxton was also in that movie in Predator, and it was good. It was dope. It actually added more depth to the Predator because he was like hunting them in the subway, and then he saw the girl cop and he was going to kill her, but he scanned her and saw that she was pregnant and was like, "That's not a battle that I'm fighting there." So he bounced, and it was like, oh, so he
Has a code.
Yeah, he has a code.
Yeah.
They didn't show any of that really in the first
Well, then,
one.
did you watch Predators? The new
Oh
one?
yeah, I didn't
See,
like
they gave
that.
him a full code. there.
Yeah, but the main guy, who was it, Matthew Brody or
Oh, don't give me
Adrian Brody? Yeah, I think I just got Matthew Broderick and Adrian Brody.
Oh, Base
Smashed
God in
up.
chat just informed us. Danny Glover is actually Donald Glover's dad.
Oh yeah, right.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah, perfect sense.
Thank you for that. He also, though, and this might throw off Based God's reputation, but earlier in chat, he did say Without a Paddle is literally the only relevant movie.
Without a Paddle, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that like what's the other one with oh my gosh, well, I'm no, yeah, that's without a paddle with Seth Green and Dax. But the other one with the hillbilly banjo off. Oh my gosh, Deliverance. Isn't that just basically the same plot as Without a Paddle?
I haven't seen
Minus
either one.
the male rape, I think. So, no, if he was talking about Deliverance, that's a horrible movie. Jeepers Creepers, that's another one they're saying in chat as a good horror movie. But, oh yeah, no, if you believe that was no. The audience believed that Donald Glover was really the son of... Yeah, no. I don't know. There's nothing... You know what scared me as a kid? No lie. Roger Rabbit.
Who framed Roger Rabbit?
Who
Or just
framed Roger Rabbit? The ending when his eyes popped out of his face. I was a little kid sitting in the theaters seeing that in crisp 420.
420p.
It was just coming at me, and I was like, this is the scariest thing. And then, I mean, to this day, I'm a little edgy going into movie theaters just for flashback, you know. But I think that was it. That one, yeah. I mean, that was probably the scariest thing as a kid. But I grew up in a rough neighborhood, so, like, gunshots don't really do that to me.
Yeah.
I've had weapons pulled on me, so that doesn't,
Me too. Let's swap gun stories. Who pulled a gun on you?
I had a next door neighbor pull a gun on me, and then I got robbed.
Really? You got robbed at the
GameStop.
store. At
Yeah, I
GameStop.
got robbed at GameStop.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to take me in the back room, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I was like, either you're going to shoot here, or you just got to trust that I'm going to get your stuff in the back room and hit that red button and have the cops on the way.
See, despite popular belief, the only time I had guns pointed at me were the cops.
Oh, no. So I've never, the whole cliche black people and police officers.
It's completely not true.
I wouldn't say it's completely not true. But I've never had that. I've had the cops called on me when I was playing Scrabble because we were too loud, and the cops came out. And there's literally me, two other friends, a Scrabble board. We're like full-blown middle of the game Scrabble, right? There are words on the board. The cops come, hands to their side, because they don't know what it is. It's kind of late at night. Hands on their revolvers, and I just remember the first thing them asking is like, "So what are you guys doing out here?" I'm like, "Is it not obvious?" Like, it's like right in front of me. It's Scrabble, And they ended up breaking up the game, which I was fine with because I had like 3 X's and I couldn't do a damn thing. I couldn't do anything anyway. So, but yeah, they broke up the game and told us to be on our way. And I remember when we walked away because we didn't go home. We just literally walked like a little bit up the street. And I remember looking back, and they were just searching around in bushes. Like we had some type of...
Like you threw something?
Yeah, like we threw something.
Yeah.
But I was like, all the evidence is pretty here, Sherlock. We're playing Scrabble. Like, that's about it. Like, what drug dealers are sitting outside playing Scrabble?
You don't know.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not a part of that world. So there could be, some people just, slanging dope on the side while they're, spelling trajectory.
That's actually the perfect front.
It probably would.
Actually,
like you can,
Trade X's for drugs.
yeah. Yeah, you go and just make your transaction, but you don't say a word. You just spell it out in front of you.
I've just spelt the word chronic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, okay. That makes a little sense.
I was 13 years old, and went to bed like normal, was 100% asleep, and then my door just gets kicked in. Bam! And then 3 cops, all cool mode, like with the flashlight and the guns pointed at me.
Oh.
Yelling.
So you got swatted?
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
You got swatted before streaming even happened?
I got real life swatted.
Yeah, that could be scary for a young child.
That was scary. I feel like once you've lived through that kind of stuff, you're just like, there's no such thing as a ghost.
Yeah, well, again, maybe. Energy and can't get rid of it, blah, blah, blah.
That's a terrible thing because your energy does get passed on after you die.
Passed on where?
To the bugs that eat you and to the flowers that you
so what if there's nothing around?
Feed.
It just travels, right, then?
No,
it just lingers there.
You'll just break down, yeah.
Your energy, we already established, energy cannot be destroyed, so where's it going to go? It's going to move, right?
Do I need to show you Pocahontas?
No.
You paint with the colors of the wind, bro.
And it moved. That wind moved.
Yeah, and it'll carry you across and do stuff like that.
I only say that, too.
Are you talking about like your consciousness and your soul? Like, you consider that energy?
I think it's all a part of it, yeah.
Because I don't know where that goes.
Because see, I only bring all that up because it helps the people future believe one of my scripts for Ghostbusters. So that's what that's all for. You need to believe that first, and then you'll be like, oh, I get it. That's how ghosts are real in this universe. But I would never go ghost hunting because I don't know. You just, if you don't know, and it's intangible, I wouldn't go hunting for it. Like, Bigfoot is a different thing. Actually, I wouldn't go hunting for Bigfoot. I'm saying if I ever happened upon him.
You know what kills me, though, is those shows that I believe all they're out there to do is insult my intelligence when they tell me they're ghost hunting.
And they've gotten sophisticated over the time.
They're so phony, those shows. And I know people who are obsessed with these people. They want to go read their books and meet them and shake their hands. And I think I lose respect for people who believe that stuff. Like, if you've ever been like starstruck by a ghost hunter, you're dumb.
Okay, well, no. See, maybe they're more starstruck that they're on TV and on a show that they enjoy, as opposed to their actual profession, which is probably a plumber. Okay, and then they just do the ghost hunting on the side. That's the difference.
If you're one of those who's just watching it for entertainment value and you realize how stupid and fake it is, I question you. But okay. But for the rest of you who are like, no, them's is ghost they catch.
Have you watched
and then they're listening
any lately?
No, I haven't watched any.
So
probably about 4 years.
I may have flipped through one, and I saw they have like a machine now on one of the Ghost Watcher shows or Ghost Hunter shows where they'll record the air or whatever, and then it's speech to text.
Yeah.
So then it'll come up and it'll say like, if anybody's in here, give me a sign now, and then they just put the thing, and it'll be like coconut. He said coconut.
What does that mean?
If you research this house, it used to be a coconut plantation farm back in the 1800s. They exported nothing but coconuts. So clearly this is John Lieberman, who worked here back in the plantation of coconut days. And it's like, where did you guys string those things together? One, and how do I know it wasn't the cameraman just going, coconut, real quick? You
only got one thing to say as a ghost, Aaron. I hope it's something better than coconut.
I hope so, yeah.
When you're channeling the ether of the afterlife and you get one word
you'll
to
know.
say.
No, I gotta
be
bust
more
through.
Profound.
Because I swear it'll be one of those things where they'll be like, Aaron used to podcast here a little while ago, so what is he?
Game bang.
The thirst is real. Like, he used to say that on every episode. This is clearly Aaron is here. Like, no, dude, I probably would have told you, look out, the floor is a little loose down there. You don't want to trip and fall. So, But they do that. I've seen them. The funniest thing is when they're just walking and then, like, their hat falls off and they're like, something just touched
my hat off.
But, like, no, I turned the air conditioner on and the wind blew that off. It's old pipes. you got to calm down.
First thing I'm going to do when I become a ghost is I'm going to go to the local pottery area, and I'm just going to sit behind and help people make pottery, just like ghosts.
Okay. I mean, that'll
I wanna
work
have
for
these
you.
weird, oddly sexual experiences.
I was
with
going to say
people.
that might work for you until they feel violated and they just want to leave. So then they'll be like, well, no, because we have the molesty ghost that goes here. We can't.
Ghosting isn't
anymore.
consent?
No, it's not consent.
Oh.
Not even in the afterlife. So if you're listening in the afterlife, ghosting doesn't equal consent.
If somehow this is making it to the upside down.
You gotta finish, man. You gotta get into it because I don't want to do spoilers because I know I was gonna try to knock out the whole series before we did this podcast. But I mean, one of my favorite things I will say that's not a spoiler on this season is they give everybody their own kind of story. Like all the 4 guys, the new character that comes in. This is not a spoiler. Everybody knows 11 is back. She has her own thing, even away from the 4 right now. Hopper has his thing going on. The mom is kind of just in. No, she has her own thing with Samwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
has
that
her thing.
character.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Actually, he
Does he
becomes
get worse?
No. He becomes hero. Like he steps up in a big way. He never cowers actually at all, but he steps up in the show kind of a big way.
Cool.
And I'm really liking the direction they're going with it. Like it's really good to see that they decided to go with character development on this one, and except for Steve.
Who's Steve?
The boyfriend from season 1, the pretty boy guy.
Oh,
about,
wait! I thought he had stuff going on.
Yeah, not in this one though.
Are you sure?
Not pretty much. Okay, so you remember the trailer where the toothless kid was like, "Do you still have your bat with nails in it?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about the highlight of his career there. Yeah, I mean, he's in some other scenes. He's doing things, but you don't really get to figure out who Steve is. And that scene actually right there beforehand, the kid is trying to recruit him, So small spoiler here. The kid's trying to recruit him, to go do something, right? Mm-hmm. And so he's like, we need that bat with the nails and stuff in it. But Steve is kind of reluctant. And I'm like, first of all, you just went through a whole first season of just scary, crazy crap. You saw crazy stuff going on. Why are you reluctant to believe that something else is happening now? He's like, no, if this is a practical joke, man. I'm like, guys, you just fought a Demogorgon in season 1. If the guy says a T-Rex is around the corner, believe him, and you go grab that bat. Even though a T-Rex would probably kill you, Steve, in one hit. But, yeah. And so that was a little, I'm like, come on, dude. If once that stuff has happened to me and I've confirmed all that stuff, then everything is on the board. Werewolves, vampires, like all the stuff is on there. I wouldn't disbelieve anything. Like, it's all there.
Yes, that's going back to horror movies. I was just talking to someone about horror movies, and they said that the reason they don't like them is because, like, the stupid stuff that the victims do, like running upstairs, that they still do time after time.
Well, what do you do when you're panicked and in a rut? Like, okay, so I saw Friday the 13th. Which one was the Friday the 13th where the black guy fought Jason on the roof? Do you remember?
What? There's been like 30 of those.
You guys don't remember that one? No. This was this was. Yeah. LL Cool J, first of all, is the most heroic black person in horror movies because he survived every single one that he's been in.
He has a no-die contract.
Yeah, he must have a no-die contract. But no, this is a Friday the 13th, and someone in chat will probably know which one it was. But the black guy stood his ground and was like, I'm gonna fight Jason, and he takes off on him, starts swinging. He's getting good licks in.
Swinging on him?
Yeah, and of course it's Jason, so Jason has to win. He actually just hit him once, and his head rolled off, which was hilarious. But I mean, who's you're in a fight or flight mode, right?
Yeah.
So you're not thinking, if I can fight this entity, you're thinking I need to run. So if they go upstairs, all right, understandable. You're not about to, leave that. Then you've sealed your fate once you hit the steps. But I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say what somebody can do when they're deathly terrified.
Well, it's like, it feels like to make a good horror film, you automatically have to like write out the same factors. Why doesn't the person just use the telephone to call the police? So in every instance, you have to kill off the telephone somehow. Why
Okay.
doesn't the person? Because if the person goes outside and just runs in a direction, like that's what I would always think. Like if some evil shit is in my house, I'm going to leave my house and just run in a direction till I find people.
Yeah, I mean that's the logical thing to do.
So I don't know. Maybe that's why I think horror movies are difficult to get into.
I saw a thing where they had like every horror movie for each month, and they're like, oh, your month is the monster you have to fight in, and February was the guy from Scream, and I was like, compared to Jason and Freddy and like Cthulhu, I'm like, I'm good. Like I can take the dude with the knife, you know, I'll get cut up, but like that's a regular guy. At the end of the day, I got a pretty good shot. If my month was like April and I'm going against Cthulhu, then I'm like, well, I think I'm just done here. Like, there's no purpose of even fighting back. So, I don't know. So, horror movies where the monster is a monster, you know, Jason, Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy, he comes back, right? He gets stabbed and gets up and keeps doing stuff. Yeah. That's one thing. But horror movies like I Know What You Did Last Summer, that's a guy.
Or just some oppressed teen.
Yeah. I can trip that dude and then stomp him out. So
again, this Aaron built up in your head is so much of a badass savage, and I still don't think
But
you
see,
can.
no, I'm not saying I'm that, you know.
I'll just
that
trip him and stomp him
savage.
out. I don't see you do that. I see you tripping him and to be like, dude, what are you doing?
I roll the dice. I mean, if I
You
roll
don't
the
roll
dice.
the dice.
If I roll the dice, then and it lands on human versus human.
No, you
Then I'm-
knowing you'd see the guy trying to come at you, and you'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing this for, man? Let's just hash this out."
I'm gonna talk to this dude.
Yeah, you're
no.
you're
I
that
told
kind of
you
guy.
the story when I was in the park and I had 4 shadowy figures coming at me, and I was ready to just rush and get beat up. I was like, well, then this is my fate. I'm gonna take the biggest guy out, and like not just take him out, fight dirty, eye gouging, you know, biting as much as possible, so that they remember this is the guy we jumped. Oh yeah, because I have one eye now. Like that's why. Yeah. So no, that's against human. But if you're talking about, you know, the Loch Ness monster coming up on the shore, and he happens to be some vicious creature, then that's a different thing.
What do you think about horror in video games, though?
Now
Do
we
you
talked
think it's
a little bit
easier
about that.
to make a horror game?
I think now it's it should be a little more easy with the graphical capabilities, as long as they take the weapons away from you.
Wait a
Amnesia.
You don't think it could still be scary and you have weapons?
If I have a pistol in my hand, it's not scary.
Resident Evil 1.
Was not scary.
Yeah, it was.
It was scary because of the camera angles, but it wasn't. I mean, like, I've downloaded
Tell me you
the
didn't
one.
get terrified when those hellhounds bust through that window.
No, you know what game scared me a little more than that?
What?
Silent Hill 1. Yeah, thick fog, a radio that plays an eerie sound if a creature's around. I don't have anything but like 1 bullet in my gun, maybe max. If that, then I'm swinging a flashlight or whatever that thing was. That was horror. When you feel helplessness, that is horror. But if my toughest decision is to choose, should I use acid rounds or explosive rounds in a horror game? That's not horror. It's like, should I blow this creature up or melt him? Like, no. You need helplessness.
What about the psychological thrillers? Like,
So there's only one-
Never-Ending Nightmares.
Never-Ending Nightmares? What was that? Why am I?
Matt Gilgenbach?
So yeah, because that was more disturbing than scary.
Some of those imagery, though, from like just that first cutscene still stays with me.
And then he said those were depictions of his actual
Stuff he actually dreamed about.
Yeah, he actually dreamed about. So yeah, when you bring somebody's dreams to life, then yeah, that's. But psychological horror, I'm gonna go with Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. So that did a thing to where
I could see the box art, but I don't think I played that.
your sanity meter would go up, and it would mess with your game. So like you would see bugs crawling across the screen where you think that it's inside your house, and I'd literally did that myself. I would go up to the screen and be like, what is in my room? But it's the game. Put in like a little fly that just like, and not even like all the way in front, like just a little small one. So you would kind of think, and then they do things where it would be like error code. It would give you error messages, it'd be like corrupt files. And I did that as well. And I was like, dang, man, my freaking memory card is busted now. And then it would scream back on in front of you.
Really?
Yeah. And you're like, crap. Or your character would run around and all of a sudden his head would explode off and you die thinking that you lost. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? And then it would come back on and you're in the room again that you were in. It's like, so it messes with you outside of the game. We don't do that anymore in games whatsoever.
Did you play Stanley Parable?
No, but that one was eerie. I watched a lot of
pretty
streams of that one. Did it ever get to an actual scary, or was it just the unknown?
I don't know if it got it to an actual scary. There were a lot of things you couldn't explain and things that felt like you're being watched and things like that.
But there was never
It was
any,
not like a monster or a boogeyman or a
okay.
jump scare.
See,
And again, to go back to stuff, it was more about like the fear was the monotony of working this 9 to 5.
I don't want to be here for the rest of my life.
Exactly. Existential.
What was the game for on Rick and Morty where you played the guy? That,
Yeah.
like he worked at the rug place, then he got cancer, then he beat cancer, then he came back to work at the rug
Nobody
place.
goes back to the rug place.
And then died because the rugs fell on him. Yeah, that's I don't know. So I'm on IGN, small plug, and they have their top 10 scary games. Dead Space 1, I'll give kind of.
Hey, that's what a guy in chat said.
Yeah, the first 30 minutes of Dead Space 1 to me was a little scary because I didn't have any weapons. But as soon as I got a weapon, I can disembowel anything. Enemy Zero, I've never played, so I couldn't even tell you about that one. Outlast, yes, there's another one, but it does what I tell you. It takes away the weapons, and it kind of just subjects you to horrific, imagery and stuff like that. DayZ.
DayZ?
No,
How?
that's not. There's like
No,
three,
Aaron, it's because that the humans are the real enemy.
Yeah, it's the same reason why I don't think The Walking Dead's scary.
Yeah, but because in that, the humans are the real enemy.
Yeah, whatever. It's all bad.
The walkers are just like a consequence.
Fatal Frame 2, yeah, probably the only Japanese horror that I'll concede to saying that is pretty scary because you have the camera and it's like in your face type of thing. It's just jump scares, a bunch of jump scares. You got another page you have to click on to go to the next one because apparently IGN couldn't keep it on one page all the way down. That's how you get those fake clicks.
That's just
what that is.
flaunting their wealth because they have more than enough bandwidth to put that on one page.
Yeah, they do. They definitely
You don't
do.
need the clicks, IGN.
Holy crap. The little Asian girl just popping on I might make that my background. We're playing the 80s music here at Oblivion Comics and Coffee today, aren't we?
We are. Hey, Base God, we are in public right now.
Yeah, and if you are in the Sacramento area, let's plug it one more time. Definitely head down to Oblivion Comics and Coffee. There's going to be discounts, candy, and video games, apparently.
I haven't
see
seen
over
any
there.
costumes yet.
Haven't seen any costumes yet, no. Unless you count hipster as a costume.
There's a lot of those.
What else we got on this list real quick? How long have we been rambling?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, look at that. We've almost done our time.
Yeah. Just to round it off, of course, Eternal Darkness.
Check 1, 2.
Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, number 5. Told you, that's a good one. Resident Evil, number 4. Incorrect, I'm sorry. Was not. PT at number 3, yes. PT actually seemed like it was going to lead into this horror renaissance for video games and have like a resurgence because people looked at that. I saw...
That was scary just to watch.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, I just saw like Let's Plays where one person would sit on the side and would just like head away from the screen. I don't want to look at this. And I was like, yeah, that's how you do horror video games. Amnesia, another one. Take away the weapons. That's a good one.
Number 1?
Number 1, Silent Hill 2. Yes. Psychological horror. And for you out there, you married people, God forbid that you lose your spouse, but if they call and you lose them and they call you from a random town, don't go investigate if you know they're gone already.
Is that the plot?
Yes.
Did they just take that for the new Resident Evil?
Resident Evil game?
Yeah, the new Resident Evil, the brand new one, 6. Or
You know what? I
whatever.
didn't even put that together. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, because that was the thing. The guy,
Yeah.
they said his wife disappeared years ago, and he gets a random telephone call saying
Same
with an
thing
address.
here. She's like, I'm in Silent Hill.
I think. See, but to be fair, how many other excuses can they create to make that happen?
To
Like,
make the
that's
person go to that
Yeah,
town?
like that is if you were actually, and I'm a coward, so even if my wife did call me, I wouldn't go. But a brave person, like in theory, that's something that could make you go. It
See,
have to be your wife or kids.
It had to be somebody that with a close tie like that.
I'm sorry, Elizabeth.
But this character knew that his wife was dead. So like I'm like, if I'm on the phone and my dead spouse says, hey, Aaron, I'm in Silent Hill. I'm like, is there any bus stops? Do you see any bus stops around there? Because I can.
I'll wire you the money. Go to a Walmart.
I got Samsung Pay. I can get you a ticket.
Like that, we got Venmo.
Yeah, exactly. Greyhound runs 24/7, so you can,
That's what you're doing, though. You're not
Yeah.
going to go.
Oh yeah, or I'm sending somebody else.
I'm glad to know you're a coward like I am.
It's not a cowardice.
Welcome
That's
to
just
the- welcome
common
to the
sense.
family.
That's common sense.
I knew there's a reason you and I get along so
It was
well.
common sense. The person said they were dead. We had a funeral. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and.
So you talk tough, but I knew you were just like me the whole time.
It's called logic. It's not cowardice. It's logic, sir. I agree with their list. IGN had a couple of things that are right on there. If I were to make scary games, and there's a lot of scary ones now, actually, that people make just indie stuff. Like, did you see that Sonic.exe? If you're in chat, definitely go play that one, Sonic.exe. That's a scary one.
What is it?
It literally is like I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's an experience you have to play because you think it's a Sonic the Hedgehog game, but it's a little more than that.
Did you ever play Emily's Away?
No, that sounds familiar. What is that one?
It's not really a horror game at all, but it's like a simulation of AOL Instant Messenger, and it takes you back, and it's like got a branching storyline based off of how you interact with this girl, Emily. And now that they just took away, like, I think AIM is officially dead now. Like, they
So you
killed
can't
it.
play it anymore?
So now this is the only way it could come out. Yeah, see, Emily is Away. They did a great job making it so immersive because, like, each year it progresses. Her favorite band changes. And remember how you used to be able to, like, control your profile in Messenger?
I never used Messenger.
What?
Yeah, I never used. I was a
What
Yahoo
kinda-
Messenger guy.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, for the rest of us in
Maybe
the
the
world,
rest of us.
for
AOL was a thing.
AOL is what we all used. And you set your profile. You had the little profile picture you could set as, like, your favorite band.
And why was this Emily Away? Was this just like
It's just weird, man.
Steam gave this a 9 out of 10?
It's a great game.
Okay.
And you could probably, like, the whole thing is like 2 megabytes. The whole game.
It was on the Unity engine. Okay, so yeah, that was.
Do yourself a favor, play it and stream it.
Play
I
it.
streamed it. Stream loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
What can you? Is it just interacting for the lonely?
Well,
That's what I'm hearing.
for me, yeah.
All right. Okay. All right.
And I want to see how much game you probably get friend zoned in this, just like you do in real life.
Well, I
It's gonna
mean-
be awesome.
You have to own it across the board. So
Yeah.
in the virtual world and in the real life, you just go with it. Is that?
That's time, man.
All right, people.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening and watching to a horrific episode of the Video Game Bang, where we just talked about kind of horror-esque stuff.
Spooky things.
Yeah, a little bit. Don't forget to go and follow us on all social medias. You can Google search Video Game Bang. iTunes is a big help, of course. Head over there so we can get on that front page. That'd be kind of dope to see us up there. That'd be scary.
That's
right
where I
there.
want to get. Yeah.
That'd be kind of scary right there. What else? Do we have any events coming up?
Just the this one.
Yeah.
We had this one going on.
Yeah,
which
but I mean, for
we
the
forgot to
podcast
tell everybody
listeners.
about. But for the podcast listeners, you can check us out in December at the Sacramento Gamers Expo.
Oh yeah, a lot of guests. The guest list is piling up on that
Yeah,
one too.
Doom Kitty's going to show up. She'll be with us in-house where we can record live.
Yeah. So come out and look. I can't wait for that line to be all in front of her and nobody in front of us. Because that's exactly how it's
Wait
going.
till you see my cosplay. I'm going to put her to work. You'll see.
I'm still going as Mystique.
Oh, are you?
Yep. Can dress any way I want.
All right.
And just say, boom, transformed. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up then, right?
Wrap it.
All right, then. For Cory Vincent, I am Sir Aaron Carter saying have a happy and safe Halloween, everybody.
Get yourself checked.